Missionary David Livingstone, 1813–1873. David Livingstone was a Scottish physician, missionary, and explorer who became one of the most famous figures of the Victorian era due to his explorations of Africa and his efforts to end the slave trade. Livingstone's life and ministry as a missionary were characterized by his dedication to spreading Christianity and his commitment to exploring and understanding the African continent. He worked in a cotton mill during his youth but continued his education in the evenings, eventually gaining admittance to medical school at the University of Glasgow. Livingstone's upbringing instilled in him a strong sense of moral duty and a desire to serve humanity. David Livingstone's journey into missionary work began with his upbringing in a devout Protestant family in Scotland. Influenced by the evangelical revival of the 19th century, Livingstone felt a calling to serve humanity through missionary work. He began his formal education at a local school and later worked in a cotton mill, using his evenings to study and further his education. His determination led him to pursue medical studies at the University of Glasgow, where he gained both medical knowledge and theological understanding. His encounters with prominent figures like Robert Moffat, a well-known missionary to Africa, deeply inspired him. In 1840, Livingstone was ordained as a missionary by the London Missionary Society. His destination was Africa, a continent relatively unknown to Europeans at the time. Livingstone's decision to become a missionary was influenced by a desire not only to spread Christianity, but also to combat the evils of the slave trade, which he saw as antithetical to Christian values. Livingstone's initial mission posting was in the region that is now Botswana. Livingstone's mission work involved establishing a Christian presence, providing medical care, and engaging with local communities. He built relationships with African chiefs and leaders, learning their languages and customs. Livingstone's approach emphasized cultural understanding and respect for indigenous traditions. Livingstone's medical training played a significant role in his missionary work. Livingstone treated illnesses and injuries, performed surgeries, and distributed medicines throughout the communities he served. His medical expertise earned him respect and admiration, further facilitating his missionary efforts. Livingstone faced numerous challenges during his missionary work, including disease, hostile wildlife, and difficult living conditions. His wife Mary struggled with illness, and Livingstone himself suffered from tropical diseases such as malaria. Despite these hardships, Livingstone remained committed to his mission, viewing them as tests of his faith and resolve. Over time, Livingstone's focus began to shift from traditional missionary work to exploration and discovery. He became increasingly convinced that exploring and mapping Africa would enable him to better serve the continent and its people. Livingstone's expeditions into uncharted territory laid the groundwork for future colonization and development, but he always maintained his commitment to the welfare of the African people. David Livingstone's mission ministry was characterized by a blend of evangelical fervor, medical expertise, and a deep commitment to understanding and serving the African continent. His approach to mission work emphasized cultural sensitivity, humanitarian aid, and the integration of medicine and Christian evangelism. Despite facing numerous challenges, Livingstone's legacy as a missionary explorer endures, inspiring generations of missionaries and explorers alike. He remains a celebrated figure in both the history of exploration and the missionary movement.